When we took a look at the S07 a month back, it had two sticking points. Firstly, at 60 something lakh, it was a bit pricey. And being an all electric car, it needed a charging station wherever it goes. And the charging station in this country, while growing, still not there yet for many people to feel confident about it. They probably heard you. They bought in this. There's 05. That's a level smaller, it's a little cheaper, and most importantly, while it still has the battery, it also has an engine at the front. Now, before we take a look at the engine, let's talk about the design. This one is a lot more softer than the S07. There's a lot less edges. At the front, you got the LED DRLs, the headlights are down there, the Deepal badge, one of many cameras in this car, and down there are a bunch of vents that opens when the engine turns on. About that engine, when you pull over this bib, that you're unfortunately greeted with is a massive plastic panel. There is an engine under there. It just Deepal doesn't want you to touch it, especially with the high voltage system hooked to it. It's a 4-cylinder, 1.5 liter, makes around 100 horsepower and somewhere there torque. It's mainly there to just to charge the battery, which is something 70 kilowatt. We'll put the number over here. And now we did drove this a bit erratically, but if the number on the screen is correct, this car will give you around 42 months per liter, which is mind-numbing for someone who's used to 8 kilometers per liter. Moving to the side, we got 18-inch alloy rims, same those door, just like the S07s, flushed handles, just like the S07, a very smart OLVM, and at the back, the petrol filler cap. You'll find the charger on the other side. Personally, I'm quite fan of this side profile. To me, especially without the edge of the 07, it looks like a baby Porsche or something German. And as someone who is wired to like everything European, thanks to 3 British person, this is amazing to me. And then with all this mud spec, we had some fun with this car, if you can tell. You'll see a middle tail lamp, which is shaped like a fin, this massive light bar with the Deepal logo, parking sensors, and if you press this button, an automatic hatch. Inside, it's pretty standard affair. You can drop the second row for extra cargo space. There's a 12 volt over there, and underneath here, sadly, there is no spare tire. You get a compressor and sealant kit because the battery has to go somewhere. Beside the cabin lamp and the rails for tonneau cover, we're not sure if Deepal provides one. There are a bunch of hooks beside the cargo sword, which allows you to strap something here if you want to, which honestly a very nice practical touch. I wish more car would have it. Let's check out the back seats. Alright. Much like the Deepal S07, the doors on the S05 is faneless and the windows don't go down all the way. However, there are some nice upgrades. For example, instead of just a button, you got a lever to open the door. Moving inside, you are treated with a nice, very loud interior in this case. The leathers are, of course, animal friendly, and up top, you get a moonroof instead of a sunroof, so there's no way to let in fresh air, well, except rolling down the windows. Beside that, you get a single AC vent for you and your passenger to share. Underneath, there are a couple of USB ports, one type C, one type A, and a small cubby hole, along with these petrol shelves, some places to keep your bottles, and a lot of speakers. I don't exactly remember the details. We'll put them on screen, what type of sound system it is. Moving this down, you get an armrest, a couple of places to put a bottle, and some very comfortable seats. Actually, this is one of the nicest seats I've been. The back perfectly forms to your body. I wouldn't mind spending long drives in this car. Hell, I might even fall asleep. I've been doing this review for the last 6 hours. Let's move to the front seats. Moving to the front, there are a lot of familiarities. Still, you don't get a gauge cluster. just a HUD or a heads-up display. A screen that is way smarter than anything I've ever seen in a while, and virtually no buttons. Everything is controlled by the screen. Now, to be fair, this one to me is a lot more easy to understand than the S07 because it's a lot more smartphone-like. You just pull this down, you got a lot of shortcuts for opening the trunk or rear hatch, trail cap, sentry mode, and yes, this car has sentry mode. If you turn it on, just like a Tesla, it records everything and all the other things you're gonna need in a Jiffy if you're driving the car. Beside that, there's the climate control button. The seats are of course powered, ventilated and heated with a memory function. I don't know if you noticed, but the seat moved while I got in. The steering wheel, again, very similar. If you've seen the Deepal S07, you won't see any surprises here, except these, instead of touchpad, these are pads that move with your fingertips. Charging, you got one wireless, that's it. This one does nothing. So unlike the S07, you can actually move the air vents by hand instead of going to the screen. You got two cup holders, no way not sponsored by mom. And if you open this, you get a pencil tray and underneath a massive center console with a temperature knob or vent knob, which lets you cool anything inside. And the downside of that massive center console is that there are no glove compartment. We haven't figured it out. The staff didn't figure it out. As far as we realized, there's nothing under there. Moving back to the display, let me put it over there so you guys can better see. It's about as intelligent as the one we've seen in S07, same with voice control and everything else. If you pull it down, you get option for wallpapers, which personally I really like this one. This is basically an interactive interface for your car. For example, if I press this and roll this down, as you can see, the window rolls down. Same that I can pull it up. Then I still haven't figured out how to back out of this, so let me see. But it's, as you can see, it picks up everything. If you can tell, our side door is open, and as it shows, it's open. And moving back, if this car lets me, and if you can tell, I am too old for this car. The car has text that I barely understand, case in point. Now, let's press home. That's one way to get back. And if we go upstairs, you'll see I can control the moonroof from here. I can just pull this and there. And yes, that shade is a bit slow. Going back to the controls, and you can see all the other controls. There is the button for you to adjust the ORVMs. These are all handled by a button over here, which is this one. You got this, you could select the switch or the side of the ORVM you want, and then you just press it to adjust. All in all, if you like screen, you'll love this. If you like me, who loves button, yeah, you are in for adjustment curve. Beside that, you got ambient lighting, which can also control through the screen, and a few other party tricks like pet mode and resting position for your seat, brightness adjusting, and so much more that if we start explaining them, this will be an hour-long video. So we'll just skip all that. If you are interested, just contact Deepal and they'll let you know. And get on with the drive and the car's biggest party trick, the mileage. Much like the S07, the shifter is in the column, and a bit of a source of annoyance for me because I've managed to accidentally put this car into reverse more than one thinking I'm turning left. Beside that minor age inconvenience, the car is nice to draw if you just put it on D by pulling it down, let go of the brake, it won't move because it doesn't have the automatic rolling on. press the accelerator, and apparently the guy before me used this in sport mode because that was way too torquey. And torque, this car has plenty, over 300, which in terms of performance means 0 to triple digit in 8 seconds. When you push down the throttle, it bolts. The funny part is you don't really realize it because the car is so well sound insulated and so well balanced that the suspension does an excellent job covering up the bumps even when you are very close to triple digit. On that note, the steering wheel gets tighter while you gain speed. And this is an excellent way to show you how good the suspension is because this isn't a road. As we drove through this, now, being a Chinese car, this car is filled with a plethora of electric madness. You got one that watches over your speed, one that makes sure you stay in the lane, one that makes sure there's things around you so you can't open the door or to at least warn you. The adaptive cruise control can get annoying at times, but it's also quite helpful. And there is an entire army of airbags in case they fail to stop something rather stupid or unfortunate. All of that brings into the main point of this car. This isn't a full EV, it has an engine. Just to make sure you can still run it on petrol if you can't find a charging station. But how much petrol does it take? Well, according to their own estimation, this car does. We'll put the exact number on the screen, which is amazing. If you want the latest and greatest, this is the one you should go for. It has tech that will make any millennial's head hard, a Gen Z will fall in love with, and mileage that will make sure you spend, I don't know, 20%, 10% of what you are spending on your floor right now. If that's what you're going for, this is a good car to get. And this acceleration doesn't hurt either. Now, about the price. Right now, it's hovering around 50. We'll put it on the screen again. If that fits your budget, go for it. If you want something a bit more exciting, a bit more techy, there's always the S07. All that said, the decision is yours. Thank you.